What's up? It's Brooklyn, and today I'm going to be filming a waxing 101 video. Pull in the opposite direction and rip it out. I do have a master's esthetician's license, but I don't actively practice at a salon or anything. I really just wax myself and my husband, Dakota. I'm gonna be showing you on myself today, and I'm gonna be giving you basic instructions on how to do it. All of my stuff, by the way, that I wax with is well loved, I should say, because I use it all the time. So please don't judge the state of all my waxing stuff. I'm gonna go through all of the supplies you need to wax. First things first, obviously you need wax. I use this brand, it's called Bellicus, and I use the strawberry one. I just had a bunch of it from school, and I haven't really had to replace it since I was in school, but they have a lot of sensitive waxes, non-scented waxes, that kind of stuff. This one is a soft wax. So there are two different types of waxes. There is a soft wax, which is the wax that you put on that stays sticky and you have to use a strip to rip it off. And then there's something called hard wax, which is where you don't have to use a strip. It actually hardens and then you rip it off with your hands. This is my soft wax warmer. You can tell, like I said, it's very well loved. But all I did was plug it in and then I just turn it on high and it melts the wax. The next thing you need are obviously popsicle sticks. That's what you use to smear the soft wax on your body. So I have 3 sizes of popsicle sticks. I have really small ones like this that I use on eyebrows and on the nose. Medium popsicle sticks, which are this big, that I use in between the brows and sometimes the upper lip. And then I have really big popsicle sticks, like the regular big size popsicle sticks that I use on body parts. And then of course you need wax strips. This is what you use to lay on the wax and then rip it off. If you want to use hard wax, which is what you would use on more sensitive parts of your body, you can buy wax pebbles, and then you have to get a different type of wax warmer for it. So this is my other wax warmer and this is my hard wax. So I'll just list all of these products and I'll put links in the description box if you want to buy any of this stuff and wax yourself at home. Okay, I'm gonna try to get a really good shot of the before of my armpits because that's what I'm gonna be waxing for y'all. You can see I've got some armpit hair. It's really not super thick. Ever since I had my baby, my hair has just grown in really thin, but there's definitely some on there. So you can see this is kind of the before I wax shot. This is what it looks like. Since I'm waxing kind of a larger surface area like my armpit, I'm going to use the big popsicle stick because it makes it really easy to smear it on big surfaces. If you are doing this on somebody else or in a salon or professional environment, you should definitely be following a lot of hygienic and cleanliness protocols, including sterilizing everything in between clients, not double dipping in your wax, using gloves to protect from spreading any kind of disease or bacteria. Home, just on myself, I'm not gonna worry about that stuff. So if you're wondering why I'm not wearing gloves or sterilizing or something like that, it's just because I'm the only person that uses this wax. Well, me and Dakota. This is my setup. Soft wax, hard wax, popsicle sticks, strips. This is what my countertop looks like right now. If you're gonna wax, I would have you look at the hair and figure out which direction the hair is going. So if you look at my hair, it mostly goes up. Whenever you're putting on the wax, you're going to want to put it on the direction that your hair grows, and then you're going to put on a strip, and then you're going to rip it the opposite direction of how it grows. That's important because you want to figure out which direction it's growing before you get the wax on your stick, because once the wax is on your stick, you have go quick or it's gonna dry and get cold. A lot of people, if you have sensitive skin, they will put baby powder or a loose powder on their skin right where they're going to wax, just to help prevent their skin from tearing. I do not have sensitive skin, so I just put the wax directly on the hair and on the skin. But if you do have sensitive skin, you can also do that and add that step in as well. Whenever you're getting wax on your stick, you're going to dip it in and you're going to get a generous amount, but not a ton. You don't want a huge scoop full. And then usually what I do is I sit there and I twist the wax onto the popsicle stick until it's cool, because when it's coming straight out of the heater, it's really, really hot and you do not want to put it directly on your skin until it's medium warm. Most of my hair grows up, so I'm going to take the popsicle stick that I'm still twisting. I am going to put a dab right there at the bottom, and then I'm going to smear it as thin as I possibly can all the way up my armpit. And then I'm going to repeat that where all of the hair is, all over just like that. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a strip and I'm going to put it right on the wax. You want to make sure that you have enough on the top and the bottom to actually pull the strip. So I'm going to put it on the wax like that, and then I'm going to push down until it's really stuck on there. You can kind of see the outline of where the wax is on my my armpit, what you want to do is make sure that you're pulling the skin really tight in the opposite direction that you're going to pull the strip. And you do this so that you can get the hair and the skin as taut as possible. You don't want to pull out, that's going to bruise your skin. What you want to do is pull straight down. So Dakota's gonna come hold my skin, yep, and I'm just gonna go 3, 2, 1, and tear the strip off. As you can see, I got all of those hairs off. Look at how gnarly that is. All of those hairs off in one strip. And my armpit's a little sticky still because there's a little bit of wax residue, which is very normal. So what I'll typically do is I'll go in here with another strip and I'll just repeat that step. So I'll just rip it off and get the last couple of slices of wax off my arm. This redness is very normal post-wax. Mine will typically go away in like an hour, maybe a couple of hours at the most. And a little bit of extra sticky residue is very normal. And that's why I highly suggest you get like a product you can use to put on to get rid of the stickiness, or just get in the shower if you really need to and try to scrub the area. So as you can see, armpit is fully waxed, and that's basically how you do it. Little tiny pinpricks of blood where your hair used to be is very normal. That's called pinpoint blading, and it actually means that you just yanked the hair out by the follicle. And it's probably not gonna grow back after that, which is even better. If you see more blood than that, you should definitely probably be concerned. Okay, I'm gonna do a little bit like a quicker version on the other armpit for y'all. This is the other hard part, is you do have to use your non-dominant hand when you're waxing. Like for me, I'm waxing my right arm, so I have to use my left arm. I'm gonna put some wax on, make sure it's thin, there's no chunks. Put the strip on, pat down like so until we get the outline, and I'm just going to rip the strip. If you are waxing somebody else, if you wax the strip, so if I'm holding the strip and I wax it, immediately put pressure on the area, and that will help relieve some of the initial stinging that comes from waxing too.
This is the end result. There is no hair.
So the wax I used when I was waxing my armpits, that was soft wax. Now I'm gonna show you how you can use hard wax, which is a lot better for sensitive skin. So if you have sensitive skin, I would definitely use soft wax. And also it is better for sensitive areas. Typically in the lower Brazilian, they will use hard wax, or a lot of the times on the face, people will use hard wax. One thing about this wax, which is the hard wax, is you have to make sure that when you're putting it on, you put it on very thick, because if it is thin, you're gonna have a very hard time getting it off. I'm going to show you guys on Dakota's, the middle of his eyebrows, how to use hard wax. So you're gonna scoop it the same way that you do with soft wax, only you're gonna get a smaller popsicle stick. So this one's like a medium popsicle stick, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're just gonna spin it for just a couple of seconds. And then what you're gonna do is, like on Dakota's, I'm going to put it on. The direction of the hair does not matter for this one. And what you're gonna do is you're gonna try to make a figure 8. So you're gonna just spin it in kind of like an infinity shape. What you're trying to do is get all of the edges all in there, all of the hair stuck in the wax. It's already hardening, so it's like barely sticky. To give you guys like an up close version, you can kind of see that I like twisted in like a figure 8 to make sure I got all of the hairs in there. And then I left a little tiny piece right here that I could grab onto and rip for the strip. Typically what you do with hard wax is, what you try to do is peel up just a little tiny flap, like I have right here, peeled up a little flap. You're gonna grab it, pull in the opposite direction, and rip it out.
Just kidding.
Golly. And see, you can see just the little tiny eyebrow hairs that I got out with that. And that is how you use the hard wax.
Thanks, baby.
After I finish waxing, I typically use a product called Wax Off, which is like a lotion you can put on that keeps the wax from getting sticky, because sometimes you can feel like a little sticky residue for a little while. And then after like a couple of hours, maybe a day, I'll get in the shower and I'll gently exfoliate my armpits or wherever I've done my waxing to help prevent ingrowns. So that's a really important part of it as well, because a lot of people, they'll get ingrowns if they wax. You have to gently exfoliate the area, but you have to make sure that it's a few hours, if not a day after you've waxed, just to make sure you're not introducing any bacteria to the area immediately after you waxed. That is basically the gist of Waxing 101. If you want more information or want me to do more videos like this showing you guys how to do some cool esthetician stuff, I'll totally do more. But for now, I am going to go wax my own Brazilian. So wish me luck, and I'll see you guys next week. Bye.